Hello. Don't know why I hit record so you can watch me do this part. But here we are. Hey friends, I'm Andy. How you doing? Good to see ya. Do you struggle with overspending from time to time? Do you wish you had a way to keep yourself on a budget, but without all the headaches of making spreadsheet after spreadsheet or using a dedicated budgeting app? Well, my friends, let me tell you about Qube, a bank that wants to make budgeting painless. You know, speaking of cubes, I swallowed an ice cube the other day. I'm getting really worried. I still haven't passed it yet. Anyway, let's go ahead and skip to the conclusion of this video with a spoiler alert. Qube is an excellent budgeting / banking hybrid that makes it super easy to track and reduce your spending using the envelope system, all within an intuitive and easy to use app. However, many of its features are still in development, so you do have to be willing to wait out some limitations. But for the rest of us, Qube isn't just a three-dimensional solid object bounded by 6 square faces with 3 meeting at each vertex anymore. If you want more detail than that, then stick around for the rest of the video because I'll dive into what makes Qube unique, what the pros and cons are, and whether you should consider banking with them or not. Also, if you would invest in me, please, by clicking that like button, it helps out a ton, costs you nothing, and I would really appreciate it. Go ahead, click it, click it. All right, on to the review. Qube began its life as Proactive Budget way back in 2016. As you might have guessed, it was a platform designed to help people budget. But unlike many other budgeting tools out there, Proactive focused almost exclusively on what's known as the envelope system. Proactive was rebranded as Qube in early 2020, and it continues the envelope-style budgeting in a much more streamlined way. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of it, we can't get too far into this review without talking about just what the envelope system is. This particular budgeting method was popularized a few years ago by Dave Ramsey, who you may know as the Dr. Phil of personal finance, or just the old guy who yells at people about credit cards and Bitcoin.
You know, I mean, I do stuff like that. That's awful.
The idea is pretty simple. At the beginning of your pay period, you take all your money in cash and separate it into literal designated envelopes. Each one of these is labeled according to a certain expense, like grocery, gas, or bills in general. Then, when you go buy something, it comes only out of its corresponding envelope. Once the money's gone, you just have to wait until next paycheck or steal from another envelope. This method is extremely effective for a few different reasons. First, it prevents overspending. Seeing that envelope shrink in size is a very tangible way to track your money. Second, it makes you much more mindful of where your money goes. It's a form of budgeting that simply doesn't allow for much wiggle room, and that's a good thing. Lastly, it's helped a ton of people get out of debt by allowing them to save more than they thought was possible. But while many people have considered the envelope system for themselves, the extreme inconvenience of carrying around a dozen cash-filled envelopes can be enough to turn them off. This is where Qube really shines. First off, Qube is unique in that it's not just a bank. It's a kind of hybrid budgeting tool that also holds your money. Fortunately, like many other fintech banks do, Qube partners with an actual bank to hold all your money. In this case, that bank is Choice Financial, which insures your funds up to $250,000 so you can rest easy. Well, unless you have more money than that, but hey, that's what I would call a good problem to have.
You have your own McDonald's?
And like other fintech neobanks, as they're called, Qube charges no kind of maintenance, ATM, minimum balance transfer, or overdraft fees. Actually, it's pretty much impossible to overdraft with Qube, but we'll get into that in a moment. One interesting point is that while many other banks use a preferred ATM network, Qube does not. Instead, you can use any old ATM you want, and Qube will automatically reimburse you for the fee up to $10 per month. You are limited though to a maximum of $250 or 3 withdrawals per day, whichever comes first. If you use an ATM frequently, this could be an issue, but for most people, the $10 per month ATM fee reimbursement is pretty good. Qube also gives you access to your paycheck up to 2 days early, which is a feature we're seeing become much more common. Basically, you'll get your paycheck the day Qube is notified to expect it rather than having to wait for up to 2 days for it to clear like most banks make you do. This may not be super helpful for everyone, but if you're ever in a pinch, it can be a real lifesaver. All right, that covers the basics. Now let's get into exactly what sets Qube apart. Remember that time I was talking about the envelope system? This particular budgeting method was popularized a few years ago by Dave Ramsey, who you may know as the... Man, that feels like it was only a few minutes ago. Those were the days. Well, Qube is a super convenient way to accomplish the exact same thing. It uses digital envelopes, which it calls, wait for it, cubes. Here's how it works. After opening an account, any money that you deposit must be distributed into any number of cubes that you choose, each with their own unique label like bills, groceries, etc. You're also given a debit card, which by default has a $0 balance. That means if you just try to swipe your card, it will be declined even though you have plenty of money in your account. And that's it. A pretty effective way to keep yourself from spending any of your money. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Just kidding, there's a bit more to it than that. In order to actually buy something, you'll need to open the app on your phone and unlock whichever cube you want to use to cover your purchase. This will automatically give your card access to all the funds in that cube. But once you make that single purchase, the funds are immediately locked again. This is an extremely effective and honestly very convenient way to budget, and it makes overspending virtually impossible. As of right now though, that's about the extent of Qube's features. In its current form, Qube is only about a year old, and so many extra features you'll find on the website have yet to be implemented, though they are actively working on it. Right now, Qube only offers what it calls the free tier. There's no monthly cost, of course, but you're limited to 10 cubes per account and a single debit card. In the coming months, they'll also be offering 3 additional levels. There's the premium tier, which is designed for partners and costs $8 per month. You'll get 2 debit cards, then anytime one of you wants to make a purchase, the other person will receive a notification. In order for the purchase to go through, both of you will have to approve the purchase. As long as you and your partner are on the same page about budgeting, this is a fantastic way to keep each other accountable. If not, well, luckily the dual approval feature can be turned off. Living life on the edge. Eventually, Qube will also offer a family tier, which is $15 per month and gives you up to 10 kids cards. This allows your children to make purchases from a certain cube, make in-app money requests, and even track their chores. The final tier is called Platinum, and it's not exactly clear what that one will entail. We do know it'll be $25 per month, and it will offer rewards and access to Qube's financial training courses, which it calls Qube Masters. Qube also plans to implement a few more features across the board, like an automatic roundup savings, a note-taking function for each cube, and something they call subscription control, which allows you to set certain parameters and stop any unwanted payments. This could be very cool, especially if you find yourself signing up for a lot of free trials and then forgetting about them. I never ever do that though, and so it's certainly not a problem for me, ever. All right, so now that you have an idea of what Qube is and what they're planning for the future, let's talk downsides. First, as we've discussed, many of Qube's advertised features fall squarely in the coming soon category.
Coming soon on video and DVD.
The free tier offers some great features, but if you're looking for a joint or family account, then you'll have to wait. On the plus side, Qube is very committed to making those options available as soon as possible, but as of right now, there is no timeline. Another thing you might have noticed is that I didn't mention how much interest your account balance will receive. I actually have a very good reason for that, and that's because Qube gives you none. Sorry, you're out of luck. So if you're comparing Qube to other online banks, you'll have to decide if its budgeting tools, which are very good, are worth trading for receiving an interest rate on your balance. Also, Qube currently does not offer a way to send or deposit physical checks, so to add money, you'll have to set up direct deposit or transfer funds from a different account. They are planning to offer a bill pay feature where they'll send a check on your behalf, but this hasn't been implemented just yet. And lastly, if you have an issue, your customer support options are currently limited to email only. There's no phone number or live chat option. All right, let's make like me finding a stray kitten on the side of the road and bring this baby home. Qube is a fantastic banking / budgeting hybrid, and its take on the envelope system is one of the best I've seen. On the other hand, many of its features currently have 2 strikes against them. They're locked behind a subscription, and they're still in the coming soon category. Neither of those are necessarily bad things, but it just depends on how much you value those features and ultimately how much patience you have. I will say that if you're willing to take advantage of what it does well and are okay with its current limitations, the app experience Qube offers is extremely intuitive. And if you do struggle with spending, then this may be just the banking experience you've been looking for. So go ahead and Qube it up real good. If you found this review and info helpful, please like the video and subscribe for more money-related content on my channel. Also follow me on Twitter. I post there every single day. And if you ever use this bank for yourself, let me know down in the comment sections below. I would love to hear about your experience. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.